So I was gratified to see it come together for the SGL21 off the bench. Really glad, actually. And remember, my mileage, my preference is running it without the Midwest Industries rail, this thing right here. It's a lot of weight hanging off a skinny barrel, and it clamps directly to the barrel. Not preferred by me. I think it changes the harmonics of the barrel. Proven in my own shooting. Your mileage may vary, I know, but this is with the rail. Again, wider groups, probably around 4 to 5 MOA. And then with the rail off, it seemed like it shot a little bit better. Okay, so that's me. I may do some more experimentation with it. I love the MI rail though. Very well made, gives you lots of capabilities. It does add weight though, up front where it is like the worst possible place. But bench rest shooting, honestly, for a tactical carbine, good data point, but it's not the end-all game. I think the real test is when you take the gun out in tactical style shooting as set up in a system and see what it can do. Backing up to this winter with my breaking contact series of videos, took this very gun out and ran it in the first tactical drills. And I came away very impressed with it. And at that time, this very gun was not wearing any Tapco furniture. It was just wearing the stock Arsenal furniture. I'm going to use this SGL31 by way of representation. NATO length stock polymer, AK-74 like, AK grip. I was actually pretty impressed. I was like, hey, and I think I said that on video, shoots pretty good. I'm surprised that it wasn't an issue. I was concerned about how high the cheek would be off the stock with the scope rail. I'll talk maybe more about that in ergonomics. But in upright, and that's a key word there, style of tactical shooting, for me, 6 foot, 200 pounds, actually 6'3", 200 pounds, the stock ran well. Fast forward to the spring, the summer, when I took the SGL21 out to run my Sledgehammer course. If you guys don't know what that is, look it up there in annotation. Sledgehammer intro, I discuss it, tell you about all I'm trying to achieve in it. Basically testing weapon systems. It's not the best course out there, but it's pretty challenging. 35 yards, 72, 80, out to 200 yards. It's a lot to ask out of the gun. Also incorporating pistol shooting at 18 yards on Everoy steel plates. Okay, initially the SGL21, as being ran by me, didn't do so good. I was unable to achieve any impressive results. My son and I went out. We ran the course several times with the SGL21 at the time, again wearing stock furniture. I had a real hard time getting behind the gun and roll over prone and getting consistent shoulder placement, being able to see through the optics, and I was all over the place. Unimpressive. So I came away from that shoot. I ran the course like 2 or 3 times with a 21. I was like, dude, what is going on? And I finally started thinking about it. I was like, I think it's an ergonomic issue. I don't think it's the gun. I was wearing the MI rail at the time. That was a variance I wanted to get rid of. And also I said, you know, I got to throw an adjustable LOP stock on it. Enter the Tapco T6, the one you're seeing right now. AK purists will roll their eyes and go, oh, Tapco, that's garbage. It's not garbage. I've ran this extensively at this point, and it's been a very good stock. You know, is it mil spec? Will it, you know, withstand slamming in a Humvee in and out day by day? I don't know. You'd have to test it. But in my tactical shooting to this point, I like it. And it solved the ergonomic problem for optics. I could adjust the length pull as you see me doing in the videos. I had a more hand-filling grip, which also helped the soft style of grip that you see here, M249 style. Those were improvements for me. That's why they're still running on this gun. With those, the SGL21 in the Sledgehammer came alive. 60 points. Check out the vid, Trial by Fire SGL21 in the Sledgehammer with me running it. 60 points. I think that's close to a course record so far. A perfect point score as the course is currently set up, 71 points. This sucker though scored 8 out of 10 hits at 200 yards with a 7.62 by 39 cartridge. Shut up. I mean, again, going back to the ballistics table, at 200 yards, we should be dropping 3.25 MOA, 7 inches. I held a little bit high. No, you don't need a BDC reticle. Just do it with your normal duplex reticle in this Weaver 2x7 scope. Yeah, you're out. Worked great. So, off the bench, redeemed. In tactical shooting, redeemed. For me running it like this, you may vary. You know, just depends. SGL21, an accurate, very capable tactical carbine. Enter the SGL31. This, from the get-go, never had any of the issues of the 21 as far as accuracy. I always felt this was shooting very well, and from out of the gate, I was outfitting it like you saw with the other one. T6 stock, saw grip, just for testing. Again, I'm testing various things. I'm not always just testing the gun. I want to test the Tapco stuff too. I love it. I love it. And it's running the Tapco forend up here. I just opted to leave that top end as is stock. I think that looks sick, by the way. I like that. The gun was very impressive in the Sledgehammer right off the bat. If you look in Sledgehammer Intro Part 1, we ran the SGL31. I think it achieved a point score of 54, 56 points. Right on, brother. How about from the bench? This was not at a shooting range, by the way. It was last suspect, my son and I, going out to the windy desert to do the accuracy testing on the 545 by 39 SGL31. This gun. This is what we came up with. Huh. That's pretty good. That's 50 yards with the Weaver 2x7 scope. I got lighting in the way, so that's why it's kind of offset. Some groups are impressive, some not so much. Here we go. More 50-yard shooting. I know it's just 50 yards, but still. By the way, this is with the outstanding, and I will talk about it more, Bushnell TRS 25 red dot scope, which is like the micro aim point, but a lot cheaper, just as good. Go and buy it. It's awesome. Has a small MOA dot, like 3 or 2 MOA, which I prefer. That's a nice group. This is shooting, by the way, mostly Russian surplus ammo. Corrosive, I'll talk about that. Nice group there, 50 yards. This is Wolf Classic, 50 yards. No, we just didn't do 50 yard shooting. Moved it on back. Let's see, where is it? 200 yard. That's what we came up with. First off, you go. Now I show you all the groups, not just the good ones. That one's not too impressive, right? A little bit windy, 38 degrees Fahrenheit out there. Wolf Classic, there's a nice group, I thought. For the conditions, shooting in the desert. 100 yards, there's a group. This is what I think you can expect from the gun. Okay, if it wasn't for that flyer, that would be a sub 2 MOA group, and then you have that horizontal stringing. Probably me, the shooter, causing that. My overall feel for the SGL31 is it is a 2 MOA gun with the right ammo. Little bit more accurate than the SGL21. Your mileage may vary. I keep saying that because it will. Some shooters may go out and shoot their SGL31 and get, I don't know, 1.5 MOA. Remember, this is a 1mm stamped receiver. Remember I said that's really not an issue? Guess what? It's really not an issue. Combat accuracy in a tactical type run and gun, which I like evaluating, on both of these guns, the 31, the 21, actually here's a 21, outstanding. It's just outstanding. Briefly, caliber preferences. Guys will say, well, Nutnfancy, I love both guns. I'm torn between 7.62 or 5.45. Which one should I choose? Each one has its benefits. I do think, and I may speak to this more in the future directly in a separate vid, the 5.45 by 39, flat shooting cartridge, very similar to the 223. It's lighter to carry by 20%. 20 rounds of this, 10 ounces. 20 rounds of this, 12 ounces, roughly. I think this is oversold as the poison bullet. I think there's been many notable failures of this to cause extensive cavity damage in bad guys. The 7.62-39 recoils more. You'll have to deal with it. Yes, the muzzle brake does help to mitigate that. It's very effective as designed by Arsenal. Great job. Very AK-74-like. I love this round because it has more obstacle defeating capability. Proven in the desert. We found that the 5.45, when it hits brush, also the 223 can yaw and keyhole as evidence going through the target. The 7.62-39 plows right on through, baby. No problemos. It does pretty much peter out at about 300 yards, but you know what? I think both really do. You could go beyond that with this, but 300 yards for both these cartridges I think is kind of the limit. Maybe 200, realistically speaking, for me and the way I look at it. Both are great. I do like just enjoyment shooting, and I forgot to say that in POU. You may have these guns just for sheer recreational use. If that's the case, I probably recommend 7.62 by 39. It's a funner round to shoot. It's more recoil. I kind of like that. It's fun. More challenging to come back on target. There you go. Just a little bit of philosophy about rounds. I think both are great. Both will do their jobs on bad guys, the kind that you will ever encounter at least. This is much more affordable, and that goes into a lot of people's equation, but that may change. So if you really want to save money on the ammo, the guns are more expensive, you might want to go 5.45-39. Got to press on. Firepower. I'm going to concentrate on what Arsenal provides with their guns, and that is the Bulgarian Circle 10 magazines you see in both these guns. And by the way, all the guns, of course, are safety checked. I'm a big fan of these magazines. Okay, let me take this one out. Here's the 5.45 version in olive drab, and I also love how they come in colorations. And let me say that before I forget, I love the colors that the SGLs are available in. Here you see the olive drab. They're also available in black, plum, of course, and then as you saw, or maybe you didn't see, how about tan? There's a tan stock you can get from Arsenal. How cool is that? Again, getting perhaps to the second type of cool, what guys like. Maybe they want a monochromatic AK variant rifle. Cool. The magazines follow the same theme. Different colors are available. They come and go, sometimes maroon, sometimes OD, black. This is a Bulgarian Circle 10 mag. It's outstanding. It's steel reinforced, just like the KVAR literature spells out in depth. Has a steel retention tab, steel reinforced feed lips, a steel reinforcing strap on the bottom. I love that. And it doesn't weigh a ton. It's around 8 ounces. Okay, remember a steel AK mag, 11.5 ounces, empty. Okay, this magazine, 100% reliable, relatively lightweight, extremely durable. Go check out KVAR's vid, or Arsenal's vid, of them testing it. It's outstanding. I love it. There is a competitor out there, and some other ones. The Tapco magazine, often laughed at by some of the tactical community. Guess what? I found this to be 100% in our shooting. No problems at all. The only problem I can identify with Tapco, actually two. One, it's not a steel retention tab. So over time that may wear, although this one having been inserted hundreds of times, I don't see any wear, do you? Not on this mag. Tapco, other Tapco mags, maybe not so much. That floor plate can bend. It's not heat treated steel like it is on the US made floor plate on the Bulgarian Circle 10s. Okay, the AK, what is it? The US Palm AK-30, that's a good mag. Haven't really evaluated that at length. I had some exposure and shooting of it down there in Vegas. Good magazine. It is a competitor at around the same price point as a Bulgarian. It's not a lot less, and sometimes maybe it's more. I don't know. They make a big deal about, well, we don't have a removable floor plate on the AK-30 mag, therefore it's stronger. Okay, here's Nutnfancy keeping it real. I think there's a lot of hype and a lot of war going on over AK mags right now. I don't get involved in that. I will tell you this. This magazine probably will never fail you in realistic combat shooting. It just won't. Or the 545 version. They're great magazines. They are my favorite AK mag. I like a removable floor plate. Every one that I've ever used that did not have that feature and said, oh, you can clean it by flushing it out, it doesn't work. There's always grit, sand, mud that gets in there that I can't get out, and I hear it grinding as I'm loading the rounds. Also, there's steel running up here that protects the tips, or from the tips of the rounds. Great magazines. Okay, firepower. I prefer the 30 rounds. They make a 45 rounder that's too big, too bulky, kind of gangly. How are you going to run it on your LB? I don't know. The guns come with 10 round magazines. Here's the SGL21 10 round mag. Great for sighting it in. Nice to have. All these are available from KVAR. Firepower is outstanding. You can run the drums if you want. They will accept all mil-spec standard AK mags. If you have a bunch of steel ones, they'll run 100%. Nice job on the firepower. Got to move on. Weight, balance, and feel. One of the benefits of having that thinner barrel is a lighter weight weapon. Naked, and I'm talking about with no optics, no light, nothing, the AK will weigh 7.3 pounds. Okay, there you go. I have this all taken apart so you guys can see in it. That's a lightweight gun, and on par with pretty much any other AK variant that I've ever seen, or for that matter, any other tactical weapon. This Arsenal, actually this one right here, SGL21, as you see it outfitted, is not super light. With the T6 stock, solid grip, KV-04 optics rail, and the scope, this bad boy weighs 9 pounds 9 ounces. That's also with a light. On par with other AR-15 systems, and that includes the sling too. That's a KZ single point sling on there. The feel is excellent. I think it is improved for me in rollover prone shooting, at least when I go with this system that I just explained. The ergonomics are going to be just as I said in AR-15 versus AK-47, or AK versus AR-15 video. In other words, the safety is somewhat of a problem. Yes, you can retrofit it for single safety actuated by the thumb, kind of like the Krebs has. Just deal with it. And, it doesn't have last shot hold open, and all the other things I've said about the AK platform apply to the Arsenal. With training, you can get used to them. And in my AK shooting, I don't find them to be that big of an issue. I thought it ran pretty quick. Again, I'm not the fastest gun in the West, but it worked. A lot more I could say in ergonomics. I'm going to reference you to my AK versus AR-15 video because it is an AK variant rifle. I got to cruise. Run out of time. This was going to be a single part. Field strip and maintenance, I'm not going to address. It's an AK breakdown. I may make a separate video of that later on. Let's go on to accessories. First off, I love the KV-04 rail that KVAR makes. Make sure you have that tightened. It comes off if it's not tightened. Learning by experience. By the way, I told them to, hey dudes, you need to Loctite that Picatinny rail portion. Amazingly, that wasn't Loctite initially. It is now, and that's a replaceable part too, so it wears and tears. You can unscrew it and replace it. Again, this is a big selling point for me, having an optics capability with a relatively low mounted scope on there. Some other optic rail choices out there, I've heard and seen some that are highly touted as being really low, and then I see these really tall rings, European size rings, that puts the center line of the scope way off. You want to keep it as low as possible. That's why I'm running super low aluminum rings, the lowest I can possibly find. And from my tactical shooting, it works. I've talked about the Tapco options. How about the G2 trigger? Nutnfancy, I thought you liked the Arsenal trigger. I do like it. I think it rocks. The G2 trigger is pretty darn good. It's made of 4140 steel, hardened to 48C. Kind of double action like. I'm testing it and I like it. The only problem with it, it has a real indistinct let off point and it's single stage. If I were you, when I got my Arsenal SGL, I would run the stock trigger in it. There you have it. I'm testing the G2. Okay, I'm a gear tester. But the stock trigger is excellent. I mean, you could probably get it worked on and make it even better, but as it is out of the box, it's a great trigger, 2-stage, and it achieves good accuracy. I wouldn't change too much. Other accessories, you have the bayonet available from KVAR. That's the 127 bayonet. You got cleaning kits, extra spring kits. Go look on their website. It's all there. Tons of accessories. The AK market is flooded with them. It's a prevalent weapon system. You can pretty much find anything you want for it, and that's good news. Value. Okay, around the $700 to $800 price point is going to be the same ballpark as a Mini 14 Tactical. To me, that's good value. And when we talk about value, you need to remember the stuff we've discussed. The quality levels that you see in the Arsenal guns. The adherence to Russian military specification, chrome lined, cold hammer forged barrel, nothing's reused or previously used on another gun. You have different colorations available in the stock. Again, this probably is the best representation up here. Has a good US made 2-stage trigger, which is excellent. Has an outstanding muzzle brake on it. The fit and finish are superb. For around $700, again, I hate to ballpark prices, but that's what it is, around $700 for an SGL21, more for a 31. That's a good deal. I don't know if the stamped versions, i.e. the SAM 7s at around $1,500 or so, are as good a value, at least as of 2010. I would go with this, I'm sorry, I said stamped, I think meant to say milled SAM 7 receiver. I would go with the stamped version, unless you're after second type of cool, collectability, then rock and roll, pull the trigger on it, no pun intended. You get first type of cool, that is capability and roll. The durability, the reliability, the accuracy, which I've shown a lot in video, now in paper and tabletop. And just knowing that you pretty much have an AK, whether it's an AK-47 variant like this SGL21 in the background, the 31 AK-74N model, that's cool. That's second type of cool. A lot of guys will dig that. If guys complain and go, well, 700 is too much for an AK, I don't know what to tell you. It's in the eye of the beholder, dude. And everybody's different when it comes to value. Some will think it's too much. Some will say, if I won't pay $350 or more for an AK, and they'll use one that's a parts bin gun. You know, I say rock on, you know, do it. For me, I'd prefer to have, oh, and by the way, the optics rail comes installed on the SGLs. Factory installed. You know it's going to be correct. By the way, some guys say, well, I had a canted front base or canted sights on my SGL. It happens. You know, send it back to Arsenal, have them fix it. I didn't really talk about the sights. 1,000-meter sights, short sight radius, just like AKs, windage adjustable up on the front. I didn't really evaluate that sight tool either, because I was running mostly optics to see what it could do accuracy-wise. At 600 yards down there in winning odds video, though, dudes, we were hitting man-sized rocks with open sights with those SGLs. Pretty rocking. So the sight's decent. Value, if it stays roughly the same or less, I mean, 2009 fall, we were in the $500 price range. That's smoking. I highly recommend the SGL21. SGL31. Yeah, both kinds of cool. They're outstanding. The track record, finishing the talking points, exactly the same as an AK rifle, because it is a Russian AK rifle. AK-74 in this case, AK-47. Does it get any better than that? I mean, the quality levels turn me on, dudes. It got me off the fence for the AKs, and everything I've seen and shot with these rifles has been vindicated. Highly recommended by me, Nutnfancy. Watch my channel page. We may run some specials on the accessories, maybe something else working with K-Bar. I'm out of time. This is Nutnfancy with a tabletop SGL21 31 review. See ya. Thanks for the support. SGL21 762. Let's light up that green plastic thing Walker was shooting at with the USB. My experience, I mean, I've been shooting some pretty standard ammunition through my SGLs. The 21, the 31, heck, Russian military corrosive surplus, and it shoots 2 MOA with that ammo. You know what I'm saying, Walker?
The way they make them.